welcome to Wednesday Night Dads with Dads. I am your host, King Smith, and I'm already smiling because y'all can't see the person though, but this dance moves the chain. So here we are. It is Wednesday, August the 4th. It is my 37th birthday today. I originally was not going to do a show tonight, as I was just going to chill, grab me a steak, and relax. But this person who I'm bringing on, he watches the show. He catches it whenever he can, and I appreciate him for that. And when he asked about coming on, I said, "You know what, man? I originally wasn't going to do a show on my birthday, but definitely having you on." So coming to my show tonight, this guy's an Army veteran. He is a father of three. And I have to tell you, father of three and all girls. I don't know how he do it, as I only have one. He's an hilarious cat. He wears a lot of different hats. Veteran, husband, father, warrior leader, friend, mentor. The guy is a hilarious guy. Y'all will see why I'm sitting here smiling and laughing now. Without further ado, I bring on my homeboy, Leo, aka Big Puns.
Me, baby. That's me all day.
What's up, brother,
Oh,
man?
oh man, it's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, man. You was up here, man, in the land of Maryland and chose to move down to sunnier states, if you will, man. How's the Florida weather treating you down there, brother?
So right now it's 81 degrees, man.
Okay, okay.
81
81.
degrees at 9 o'clock at night is perfect weather.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before I get started, I do want to take the time to tell everybody that sent me a text message, phone call, email address to the person that sent me something via Cash App. That was a surprise. The drink that I'm drinking tonight is sponsored by you, so cheers to you. You know who you are. Um, bro, man.
What
So
what what's cracking, dude? What's really cracking?
hey, man, I'm just going to jump right into it. There's a
Let's
question
do it.
that I got asked, and it was actually interesting having you on. So I'm going to give you some background real quick. A friend of a friend had commented on, I took my daughter out to this high tea afternoon for her birthday, right? Right? Got
I've
dressed
seen
up.
that on Facebook. Right.
Yeah, yeah, yep. She got dressed up. I got dressed up. Brought a friend. Had a good time. And the friend of a friend is a psychologist, and she asked me if I was softer or a little bit more feminine for the event for my daughter, and I said no, like I'm masculine 24/7. And she said I'd be surprised like you wasn't a little bit softer given the event, given you know what you guys is doing. And I said no. I said, but you know what? Don't take my word for it. Ask my daughter. So she brought her over, asked her, and she pretty much verified that like I try to be masculine 24/7. So my question to you, good sir, you were in a house full of women, three kids, three daughters, and your wife. Do you maintain masculine frame 24/7, or how does your household work, man? If you don't mind me asking.
So, uh, you're asking me how a clock works, you know? So, however, yes, the answer to that question is yes. You maintain 100% masculinity. Now, that does go out saying just because you're masculine doesn't mean that you can do feminine type things with your daughter. How
What you mean?
That's a good question. What I mean by that is, for instance, I did a daddy and daughter donut day at the school. You know, some
Okay,
fathers might see that as dad and a donut, daughter. Me, I jumped on the opportunity quick, fast, in a hurry. Because you want that bonding time with that girl.
got you.
Remember, your daughter, you are her first love in her life. You are the first man she will love. Okay. And she's going to look the qualities that you have, she's going to look at another man.
Hmm.
So it's paramount that dad, there's a difference between dad and father. There's a dad has to be there 100%. And he has to show masculinity, but he also has to be flexible.
Be flexible, man. See, I have a hard time with what that flexibility is. Now, so for me, like I'm fortunate, like her mother's in her life, and even though me and her aren't together, her mom lives, 5 minutes, man, around the corner, and she gives her that nurturing, like prime example, that same friend of a friend who we had brought this up with. My daughter gave her own example in her words. She said, well, like, for example, my dad shows me affection. Right? Uh, he hugs me. It's more of a good job type hug. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that.
Right.
But she said when her mom hugs her, it's a lot more nurturing in the hug. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I can give that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not within my deck of cards, if you will.
And that's okay because in my household, it's the opposite. Okay. I'm the nurturing one. I'm the one giving
Ooh,
constant kisses, constant hugs out of nowhere. You could
yeah.
walk by me and be like, hey, give me a kiss, or hey, give me a hug, you know. My wife was raised a little differently. Her parents
Huh?
were, they're great people, by the way, but they weren't as affectionate as some other parents are. Now, with that being said, I come from a family where everybody's really hands on.
Mm,
It's like, I kiss my brothers on the cheek, and if I
okay.
don't if I don't kiss my older brothers on the cheek, they're gonna ask me what's going on. Am I changing on them? Am I okay? I mean, because that's what we do. And it's not just cheek to cheek. You got to put your lips on the cheek, and then after you give him the kiss, you turn your cheek, and he gives you full lips on the cheek. There's nothing wrong with
Uh,
that, man.
all right. Now, so let me ask you: is that your household cultural to like your background?
I would say it's both. I would say it's both because you know not everybody in my culture does the same thing.
Got you.
You know, however, it depends on where you derived from. So if you're coming from a loving household, I mean, my dad kissed us all the time as kids. I mean, I have four brothers and a sister. So there was more boys in the house, but he still showed love, and affection.
Where did you fit, man, in your sibling dynamic?
So I have two older brothers than me. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. So you can say kind of more or less I'm like the middle child. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. You kind of right there in the middle, but you had older boys and then younger men. Is there a large age gap, man, or are y'all pretty close to each other?
No, there's a large age gap because my older brother Mikey, he he's not my father's biological son. He's a son. He's a boy that was raised by my dad. And
Okay,
my dad gave me that option. He laid the cards out on the table. He's like, look, that by blood he's not my son, but I raised him. He calls me
got you.
dad. I call him son. You have a choice. Either you call him brother or you don't. There's no half brother. It's either he's your brother or he's not your brother. I mean, and naturally, I was like, God, that dude's my brother. So,
Okay,
but yeah, he is 10, 13 years older than me. My other brother's 8 years older than me. And then the rest of the siblings, we're just like, I'm 40, my sister's 39, and my brother's 37. You know?
okay, all right. There's somebody that came in the comments said I was raised in a Portuguese household, and my father and his many brothers used to do the same. It was always hugs and kisses. So in my household growing up, it wasn't necessarily like that. But I also never really saw that as weird or different. And then I got a little bit more exposed to other household and other cultures as I got older. joined the service, got exposed to more people, and traveled all over the world, man, and kind of saw, how people, do things different. But I think, like, in a majority of my family on the male side, I don't think I know of a nucleus that, what I'm saying, shows each other, what I'm saying, love and affection that way, you know?
No, I understand, man. Some people were raised differently, different cultures, whatever. And like I said, I don't think it's so much the culture. I mean, culture has a lot to do with it, but it's also how your parents raise you. Like, for
Yeah.
instance, my brother and I would walk down the street, arm in arm, bro. I mean, we'll just hug each other. We'll walk down the street, and people might stop and stare at us, but it's what we know. It's how we feel. We don't care about anybody else. We care about how we feel with each other. We have that type bond. And that I try to recreate that bond with my daughters. Like I can walk in the mall with my 18, which is almost 19, and interlock hands and walk with her, and people will think that she is my girlfriend or something. You know,
Hmm.
but we don't care. That's love and affection. I'm here to cherish my children, and smother them.
So, walk me through just to kind of set the tone for the rest of this conversation. I have a daughter. She just turned 14. How old are your three? You already mentioned that the oldest is about to be 19.
She's about to be 19 in December. I
Okay.
have an 11-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Okay. So that's high school, or has she graduated already?
She's in her last year.
So last year, middle school and elementary school still.
Last year, elementary.
Last year. So you've already gotten one that's started the high school phase. Mine is just getting there. With your first kid, was there anything that when they hit that teenage high school, phase that startled you, scared you, man, or had you go, oh, what the hell is this?
I think um, there's a lot that plays into your daughter's gonna have to find, I say, find her footing, maybe find her spot that fits in with everybody, and that can be really easy. That can be challenging for her. There's a lot of stuff that goes on when a young person goes from junior high school to high school. It's like a big deal.
That's what I'm learning.
uh, it's a huge deal, and you know they know it all. They got it figured out already. There is no piece of advice you can give your child going from the eighth to the ninth grade. I mean, from the or seventh to the eighth grade, and making that's a pivot in their life. It's like, okay, I'm in my last stages of becoming, leaving teenage years and becoming an adult, so to speak. And there's a lot of dynamics that come into play here that can be very overwhelming for a father.
Hmm. All right. Let's jump back a bit. Before you had your kid, your first kid, anyway, you and your wife, were y'all in item? You know what I'm saying, man, at that time, or how did you meet your wife, and when did kids come into the picture?
So we met in South Florida, and it she got pregnant. We were we were dating, and she happened to get pregnant. And you know, like I said, I come from a good family, right? So I had to make a decision. You know, so I decided to stay and stick it out, and you know, be that husband, be that father, be that figure in both their lives. Because she was young, I was almost 22, she was 18.
Okay.
So uh, you know, and I stuck around. I joined the military so that I can, you know,
All right.
I
So,
didn't know much back then.
all right. So you joined in your early 20s, immediately after high school.
Mm-mm.
Um, what? when you join, um, that's when your family kind of nucleus first got started. What was your job, man, in the army?
So I was the 13 Fox, which was a
What's that?
forward observer.
Oh, so you in the weeds.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
all right.
King, king,
And
king of the battle.
king of the battle. All right. How was your army experience, and did it have a major impact on your family situation?
So my army experience was I was looking for a challenge and I got just that and more, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so my army experience was something I'll never forget. I met a lot of great people. I met a lot of bad leaders. I met a lot of good leaders. When you're in that kind of situation, the best thing to do is keep your mouth shut and your eyes open. Okay. And what you do is you take in, you absorb what's your environment, you know? Um, and then you kind of decide for yourself what type of leader, what type of team player you want to be. You know, you come across some bad team players, bad team leaders. You come across some great ones, but you take it's like yin and yang. You take a little bit of everything, and you make your own self. That's how I found myself. You know, and then I happened to get wrapped up in with the first sergeant in BC of the infantry, Alpha 26 Company Infantry, along with uh, 4th Battalion, 27 Field Artillery, and I got my footing. You know, it was I miss it. You know, I really do. If they, I don't know if they take fat people back, but you know, hey, you know, yeah.
Hey,
But no, I really do miss it. Yeah.
yeah. In one of my previous chats with Dad's episode, man, I was talking with somebody about there are components that I do miss, man.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, but I was in a job that you had to be ready at a moment's notice to be worldwide deployable, and you be flying and going anywhere. I've been able to be in my daughter's life a lot more now than I know I would have if I was still in. If I was still in, I would be, because I enlisted in 2002, so I'd be at my 19-year mark right now. As a possible senior enlisted dude, you may have more opportunities to stay at home more, but it depends on the ops tempo and if things is, what I'm saying, kind of jumping off at the time. Um, but I like being home more, being able to attend. Like my daughter's about to start high school. She's about to do show choir, where she's going to be dancing and singing. You know what I'm saying? I'll get the
That's beautiful.
chance to be a part of that and see that without having to worry about is the military going to send me overseas. I do miss traveling. I do miss the friendships and family bonds that I've made with the people that I was in, but that's about it.
Well, you know what? I totally agree with you. You know, I also joined in 2002. That's funny, May 2002. So if I would have stood in, I have friends that were in the same at or around the same time. I mean, they're like E8s, E9 promotables. It's
Bro,
crazy how time flies, man.
it does,
And
man.
yeah, but I'm just to answer the other half of your question, being in the military provided me with a foundation that stuck with me until this day.
Oh,
It
wow.
provide. Mhm.
A lot of people struggle. A lot of family units struggle. I was looking at the divorce statistics for service members, and surprisingly, the Air Force had the highest rate. I just knew it was going to be the Army or the Marines, but no, the Air Force had the highest divorce rate among service members. Um, but it's at a rate percent average across the board. So you're talking about, 4 out of 10, marriages don't make it. Uh, were y'all good, or was there some rough patches, man, along the way?
Yes,
Uh,
they were absolutely were because after serving 2 tours of combat, you know, and just getting out straight after combat, there's at that time, the military didn't. There wasn't, any programs or nothing like that that are be like, hey, listen, you're going into civilian life. Let's detox a little bit. Let's go over some scenarios. Let's do some counseling, some therapy. Let's offer you and your wife counseling. There wasn't anything like that. So of course, naturally, a combat veteran going back into society, there was some major obstacles I had to overcome within myself,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, I had a hard time with them, and one thing led to another, and I was misbehaving, and the wife had to pack up and roll.
Yeah.
You know, it was my fault. I take the blame for it. I man up, and it was an eye opener for me. It was like, okay, you need to get right. You know, so it took me about a year to get it back.
What was that
And
first step? Like because that can be hard for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons.
yeah,
For you, what was that first step that you took that started that change that got your wife to see that you were making the changes that you had needed to make personally?
that's a excellent question. So you have to have the want. Do you understand what that means? You
Expound
have
on
to
it.
have the want. Yeah. So you have to have that want. I want this. This is what I want. Once you realize that this is your goal, okay, then you have to ask yourself, now, how am I going to achieve what I want? Okay.
Hmm.
And I had to do something. I had to fix up myself. I had to go through, I did a couple counseling sessions, go to the VA, did some private counseling on the side and whatever. And, I wanted to have my wife back. I wanted to be in my daughter's life every day. Not just I didn't want to be a weekend warrior. I wanted to be there at all times, 24/7, like my father was with me.
Hmm.
You understand? So I wasn't raised by my mother, I was raised by my father. So my dad was always in my life. And I wanted to always be there with my daughter. You know, did I know I was going to have two other daughters? No, I was hoping for a boy, you know, but that didn't happen,
Yeah, man.
and now, here we are. My wife and I were going on 20 years next May,
That's what's up,
20
man.
years, you know,
That is a pretty significant milestone
mm,
for a lot of reasons. But
it sure
did
is.
so you sought various resources that were available to you through the VA, through private stuff. Did you incur any barriers while seeking, some way to find help? Because I'm hearing a lot of people talk about how, oh man, the VA don't care. There ain't, nothing out there that can help me. But when I talk to people, folks say, yeah, man, there's programs. I just have to seek them. You have to seek that. Did you encounter any barriers when you were looking to get the help that you needed?
I did. It was my pride was my barrier.
Ooh, so internal.
Exactly. You, being from the Latin culture, a man is supposed to be masculine. You're not a man if you can't stand on your own 2 feet. You're not a man if you're asking for help, you know? And to tell you the truth, all that is bullshit. Okay. The problem with a lot of veterans is they do not want to reach out. Okay. They're afraid to say, I need help. They're afraid to say, I want some help. They think that, they're weak or they're less of a man. And that is far from it. It's quite the opposite. That means you want to hold on to life. You want to be better. And, that just shows and proves how a strong person you are. That you're willing to push through, whatever it takes. And that's what happened with me. I had a hard time asking for help, you know, from the stuff that was buried in my head from my family, the military, you know, going to sick hall. You ain't sick. You don't need to go to sick hall. Pour some water on it. Take some Motrin. That was it, man.
Vitamin M.
That's it. That was it. You know, you had a cough, man. Go to the commissary, get you a box of Halls, and that's it. Call it a day. You don't need to. But that's how we're programmed in the military. You don't need help, you know. So um, that barrier was pride, man. Once you let go of your pride, in the sense that okay, I need to reach out to people and ask them for help. Um, it's it's a life changing decision.
Is
Once if you could sit back and say, "Hey, I need help, man. I need help with this. I'm feeling such and such type of way. Is there a program? Is there a counseling session I can go through?" And when you ask for help, you will receive it.
for you, from the standpoint of a person and also a husband and father, is there a specific program that you'd like to highlight, man, right here, right now, that you can talk about, that you can say was an amazing program that has significant results and impact on you, your marriage, and how you handle yourself during your day to day?
Yeah. I happened to reach out to the Wounded Warrior Project, and I wanted to know more about them. And this was quite some years ago. But however, I started getting in, going to the events, getting to know people, But I was still inside. I knew there was something wrong, that I needed help, you know. Um, and I reached out one day. I had a friend, my gunner on my vehicle. Uh, he uh, he committed suicide.
Mm.
Hmm. But if you ask me, hey, you know, give me a list of your top 10 soldiers that have committed suicide, he would not be on that list.
Mhm.
That is the type of guy that you go to, like me. That's the type of guy that you go to for help, because they have some sort of answer. If not, they will get the answer for you. He hit it well. And so when you hear about soldiers dying every day, and you know what, it breaks my heart. It hits differently when it's one of your own.
Mm.
Okay, so when that situation occurred, I was spiraling down, and I saw myself going through some horrible times. And I reached out to the Warrior Care Network. Long story short, they got me hooked up with the Road Home program. It's a 3-week outpatient program in Chicago. Completely changed my life. Um, what that program is. It takes you know how the VA gives you might have a psychology appointment today, and then 6 months later you have another one. But in between those 6 months, you got therapy sessions with your counselor. Once every 2 weeks, maybe.
Mhm.
What they do in 3 weeks is they jam a year of therapy into 3 weeks. You know, I mean, it is everyday intense therapy. You go there with a problem. What is the root of your problem? And it's not that they solve it for you, but they teach you how to live with the PTSD. They teach you how to survive with it. They teach you how to keep your head up. Okay. And, it was a great program. Um, it, at that program also, now these are 90% of them are civilian doctors. So you're not dealing with the VA.
Mhm.
Okay. Now we all know that sometimes a VA doctor, not that I want to shunt the VA, but sometimes a VA doctor is not the same as a civilian doctor, or they can't offer the same type of treatment. So with that being said, I was put on new medicine, you know, and the new medicine I was put on it changed my life completely. I'm able to see clearly now, concentrate, and I'm forever I'm forever grateful. The last part of the therapy is they actually bring your spouse up. Whether
Mm.
it could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be someone you live with, whoever is in most contact, could be your mother. Whoever's in most contact with you, they get brought up too for the last week. And then you guys get separated. He or she goes to their, prospective, doctors and whatnot also, or therapy sessions. And they teach the wives, the spouses, your significant other, how to help you deal with your problems as well. You know?
Um, I've got a very tough question to ask you, man, and I hope that this is an okay question to ask you. Um, think about that time period where you needed help, but you didn't necessarily get help yet. Did you ever have a situation, happen that scared you as far as how you were around your family and your kids?
So, you know, I've encountered some very gruesome acts, during war. One particular that always sticks out of my mind that I'll never forget is the fact that when we lost 8 guys in one day, in one situation. It wasn't within a 24-hour period. It was one situation where 8 people have died. It was detrimental to the unit, you know, and you know, being there, being surrounded, you know, you think about the men that died, and later on in life, some veterans develop survivor's remorse. When you develop the survivor's remorse, which means you feel that it should have been you. It should be you. You should have died on that battlefield. You should have died that day, but you didn't. You feel guilty about it. That your
Hmm.
brothers died, but you didn't. You know, because that's the ultimate sacrifice is to, you know, die for your country. You know, um, so you get the survivor's remorse. During that survivor's remorse period, you will get depressed. I felt depressed. I felt suicidal. I've attempted suicide with the handgun. And you know, that's when I knew I was like, this. That was the turning point in my life where what, I have to turn myself around. I have a daughter. I am someone's dad. I'm someone's husband. I'm someone's brother. You know, this goes back to what I said before. You have to have the want. Okay. If you don't have that want, you're going to go down. If you can't get over your pride and ask for help, you're going to go down.
Right. All right, man. Hey, thank you for coming on the air to talk about the man. I know that that that's not an easy to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But I also know too with you that I was okay and comfortable asking you this. As me and you, we've had some private conversations and things like that. I know that you want to help those that might be thinking around about the same space, but may not know what to do or kind of how to take that first step. So I appreciate you sharing your thoughts, man, on the
That's
subject,
what we
brother.
do. That's what
Yes,
we do,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. I'm going to pivot a bit.
Sure.
You're the only dude with mine. I have one, and the bathroom stay with hair all over the place. How do you? How do y'all keep y'all whole household and hair all over the place from having four ladies, man, in the house? How to control it?
I don't. I usually get yelled at all the time. Okay. So it's if I want to give myself a haircut or something like that. Um, you're it's like don't give yourself a haircut now. I just mop and swept. I just swept and mopped the floors. But I'm always getting yelled at, man. I admit I also have a problem leaving the toilet seat up to this day. Even though I have 4 women in the house, they still have a problem.
Yeah,
I
man,
kind
same
of
here.
I I kind of feel that, being that I'm the only guy here, it should stay up. They should put it up for me.
Uh-huh.
That way it's
Thank you.
ready, right? Because I'm the only guy here, you guys should be leaving it up for me. Oh, you know what? Let me pick this up for dad. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's not how we're programmed. That's not how society is. It could be four guys and one girl in this house. We're gonna have to leave the toilet seat down. You know?
So inconsiderate of you, man. You being the
Hmm.
only one. They should be more considerate of you, brother.
Right.
What are your family trips like, man, with having such an age? I ain't gonna say it's not a big age gap, but when you're planning things, how do y'all handle events with having three girls with a pretty big, age gap, man, between the three?
Look, when you have girls, man, no matter what their age is, it's hard to it's like herding cat, man. I mean, give me four guys in a Humvee, and we can do anything.
Yeah,
At the
and
drop
it's
of a
quick.
dime.
Yup.
At the drop of a dime. I mean, you don't need much. Just give me some water and some bullets, and we're out. But with girls, man, it's they overpack for every. We could be going away for 2 nights, and they'll pack for a week.
Uh-huh.
And I got like sometimes I say, yo, we're only going to Orlando for the weekend. What is all these bags for? But they're women. The planning is easy on me. It's leave. Hey, we're gonna leave the house at 9 o'clock. Doesn't happen. Hey, have your stuff packed. Have your stuff ready for daddy to pack inside the car by 8 o'clock. It doesn't happen. I mean, it's tough, man. Because I'm quick. Throw it in a bag. My bag is this big, and I'm out the door.
Yep. Save here, man. Save here.
These women, no man, they break out suitcases and big duffel bags, and it's tough, man. And it's just as tough leaving the place. It's like you gotta look everywhere. I'm lifting up the bed. I'm sheets. I'm looking for stuff. It's crazy.
Bro,
You know.
they have bags just for like, hair and makeup stuff. I got one bag and clothes, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, maybe some face wash, and that's it. They got one bag of stuff, one bag for the jail stuff, and then, oh man, socks, everything. I'm just like,
Now
pack enough?
you only got one girl. So I got four in the house, so that's four different bags, man, of everything. You know. So and then it comes along with who took my brush, who got my lip gloss. Stop using my stuff. Give me back my deodorant. It's 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 tough. Listen. It's hard being me, and I've always told my wife's family, my own family. It's so hard to be me. I deserve an award every year, man. I
Talk
need
your
some
ish, man.
sort of.
Talk your
I
ish.
I I need an award, man. I need some sort of restitution. You know,
Yeah, brother.
you know. But you know what? You know what? I treat my wife, I treat my kids very well. At the same token, I treat myself well. You know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do.
I'm a huge advocate for, everybody's different, man, but I preach and I say, I'm going to take care of me first. Because as long as I'm good, then I can have the energy, the, time, the space to then give you what you might need from me. But if I'm not good, I'm just not going to give you what you might need from me. So I call it selfish, call it whatever, but King is gonna take care of this guy first and foremost before anybody.
No, listen, you hit it right in the head, man. I have one rule in the house before I pay myself. I pay all the bills. I make sure everything is squared away. That way I'm not thinking, how am I going to pay this bill, or I shouldn't have spent this money because I have this bill to pay. I pay all the bills, for the month. Whatever's left over is my play money, you know? I mean, the other day I bought the wife $200 pair of sneakers. I surprised her with it,
Nice.
because I wanted to do that for her. Now, I treat myself. You got to pay yourself, man. Then what are you working for? What are you
Mhm.
working for? Yeah, you provide for your family, but you also got to provide for yourself, man. You got to pay yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, random question. Do you get pedicures and manicures? I do. I just put it on. I do.
I don't. I don't. That's funny you bring that up because I was laying in bed a couple hours ago and, messing around with a new cat we got. And, my daughter's, she grabs my foot. She's like, Dad, man, you need a miracle, but you need a pedicure. Okay. And I was like, you think so? You think I should go? She was like, man, you go. They might charge you a little extra, and but you need one. It's worth it, and they give you a massage. It tickles a little bit. I'm not I'm not against it, man. I think that's called manscaping. And if you ask my wife, I have clippers. Now I ain't got your average wall clippers. I got $250 clippers. Okay. I got peanuts. I got, Andis clippers. I got an Andis box shaver. This stuff ain't cheap, man, but that's called manscaping. I have a subscription to also manscaped.com,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I buy their products, because
Nice.
it's all about self-care, man. You get the foot spray, you get the ball deodorant, dude.
Ball
Ball
deodorant.
deodorant. You gotta check it out, man.
Huh. Okay. If manscaped.com is willing to sponsor your boy, hey, reach out to me.
You got to check it out, man. But that's part. But that's part of paying yourself. That's part of taking care of yourself. You know, and I
Yeah.
buy their underwears, best underwears ever put on my ass. Okay, I have their grooming equipment. I got their little got a little scissors in there, a little comb. Keep that mustache straight.
Oh yeah, man. I see you clean over there, pimp.
No, I try. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do. Yeah, I try. But you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, let me ask you because you've done some videos too about different soaps. Do you still use?
No. And it's not because I don't want to use them. It's because right now I'm in a temporary place where I can't, not that I can express myself. It's just I don't want to, because I want to be in my home. And I by the way, happy birthday. You don't look a day over 30.
Hey man, appreciate it,
Two,
brother.
yes, sir. Two, God saw fit to bless my family and I with a brand new house, brand new build, and we're closing on it, this month. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, and it's a blessing. This is not a temporary home. It's going to be more like a 10, 12 year home. So I would feel more comfortable being settled into my house, starting the videos back up. I did start a YouTube page. It is called Brutal Reviews. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, it's called
Yes.
Brutal Reviews. And I want to start that stuff back up. But I want to be in the comfort of my home. I want to be, when you're comfortable, you're more productive,
Yes.
and
Absolutely. When
and
you're comfortable, you can be more yourself and more
yes,
creative as well, brother. Oh, trust me, I know.
correct. So listen, it's the place that I'm in now. It's great. It's a friend of the family owns it. She's helping us out while our house is getting built, and I owe her my life for doing this great deed for my family. But there's nothing like your own, Chief.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am renting right now. Where I've got my studio set up is my bedroom. If I lower this green screen, you're gonna see the bed behind me with clothes all on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not optimal. You know what I'm saying? It's not my
Yeah.
spot. Not in a place now to really um get my own spot, but I'm busting my ass towards, achieving that so that, when it makes sense for me to get my own spot, man. I'm gonna have my own little studio. Try to keep these live streams and these videos going because I'm having fun doing this. I'm having fun conversating with people who I know, folks want to come on to my show, share their time with me, share their thoughts, with me, and be honest, man. Because I wasn't expecting you to be as upfront about the stuff that's going on in your life. So I appreciate you keeping it a buck with me. You know what I'm saying, man, and everybody else that's here too, man. So thank you.
Listen, you have to be ready to share that type of stuff. That doesn't come that doesn't come easy, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, I did get a little choked up when I spoke about my guy committing suicide, but that's just a natural feeling, man. There was love there when you spend time with somebody in the combat zone. And I mean, talking about we spent almost 2 years together in combat zone. So, but anyway, I got a little choked up when I talk about. I got a little choked up when I spoke about my other dudes dying over there. It's tough. However, the Wounded Warrior Project, the programs, the counseling, the therapy has brought me to a spot where I can talk about it, where I'm open about it, where I can answer questions, share my feelings. Just because I went through I'm able to talk about it doesn't mean I still hurt.
Mm. So since I've known you and met you, I think you've done more moving than me. So I'm excited for you actually knowing that you're about this spot, man, and it's gonna be home. You know what I'm saying? Home at a good little bit. So yeah, man.
This
Congratulations,
is it.
brother.
Thank you, man. This is it. And when you're ever in the AO, you come on, give me a holler. I'll make you some ribs or something, man.
Yeah, hey, you be posting up them pictures of the food, and I'm like, yo, why am I where I'm at right now? That's why I need to be.
Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Fat people know how to eat, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me ask you this too. So, are y'all done at three?
No,
Three
man.
kids?
No, listen. I got the operation.
Yeah.
Uh, about I don't know. I forget. My wife will remind me. At 2012 or something like that, man. I've been shoot. I've been shooting dummy rounds ever since.
Going up in there and having fun. I like it. Hey, so let
Hmm.
me see. So that you, I think three other people. I've had 9 episodes so far. So supposed to have had the procedure. One has had it reversed.
Mm,
That's
mm,
and he's I think a year or two to me, and I'm just like, hey, bro, you're almost 40. Why?
mm, mm. Look,
Why? Hey, everybody have no reasons for it, man. Man, it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me.
two. No, it ain't. It ain't just you. Listen, I got two things to say about that. I'm 40 myself, about to be 41. My birthday is in August 25th, and good people are born in the month of August, Chief. So,
That's right.
yeah, I'm almost 41. I'm too young. I mean, I'm too old to have any more kids, and I'm too young to have grandchildren. That's the way I feel.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
man.
I'm too old to start having babies, and I'm too young for grandkids. One, two. Uh, there's two. There's the two procedures. There's the reversible one, and then there's the irreversible one. I made sure I got the irreversible one, and he put me under for it because I wasn't
Oh,
letting no man, fondle me while I'm awake. I'm just, there's just some things I won't do awake. Okay, if you knock me out, it's a different story. I don't want. I don't. I hear some guys are like,
oh,
yeah, yeah. I sat on the table and we're having a conversation about local restaurants and ball games, and I'm like, I can't have a conversation about food while you're touching my junk. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm not comfortable with that. But I got the irreversible one and he explained to me what it is. Um, they disconnect. So they take that cord, they cut it, clamp it, whatever, but then they pull it. So it's up near your stomach area. They disconnect those cords. That way, you can't have any, and I made sure I was like, disconnect, pull them both out,
So,
That's it.
did you get it done through the VA or someplace else?
I got it done through the VA, which did the referral program, and I went to a civilian doctor here in Florida. Yeah.
All right. I actually got mine's done in Martinsburg. It was
West
done
Virginia.
it was done at the VA. At the time, I was married, and they ask you you have to do like a pre-count, right? And they'll ask you if you've talked to your spouse about it, and what their thoughts on it. I got scared a little bit because mine was on board with it. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like this was something that I was just gonna do, and it was a surprise to her. We had talked about it. I was with it. I didn't a lot of kids. When I got my one, I was kind of good with that. My daughter has expressed that she would have loved to have had a sibling, and I'm like, well, coming from me, it ain't gonna happen.
Get her a dog.
But it was funny because you have your pre-counseling thing. I'll do that, and when you go in for the procedure, what they don't tell you is even if you manscape down there, right? They still gonna manscape the area before they do the procedure
with a single blade.
It was.
They don't. I felt like bringing my own Mod 3. You know what I'm saying? Hey, use this.
Bro. And I get in there, they numb it up or whatnot, man. I get 2 female nurses, and this is Martinsburg, West Virginia. Now I ain't gonna talk bad about Martinsburg.
No, I'm not. But I want to ask: did you do the procedure while you were awake?
Awake, bro. Awake with 2 female nurses that were smoking hot. I'm talking drop down. I was
you had some shrinkage. You had some shrinkage, right?
Hey, in a cold hospital room.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, golly.
They were like, damn it, I thought he was black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And then they got in there, and the doc trying to make all talk with me, man, while they doing this, they think I'm just sitting here all right, so this is happening. And so you were knocked out, man. That's good, because even with them numbing you up, bro, it's still, you felt some things happening. It wasn't really pain, but you could feel stuff going on, man. I can't really describe it.
And that was my complete that was my complete point of I don't want to know what's going on, and I actually had a unique experience, man. I came out of the anesthesia and I felt good, man. I felt like I was on top of the world. And then like I had this beautiful nurse. She came by, she was like, how you feeling, honey? I was like, damn, baby, so hot. That was real honest. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, you're beautiful. You look like Salma Hayek. She was like, oh, thank you, baby, but that's the medicine talking. And I'm like, no, you are hot. I said, where's my wife at? I don't want her to hear me. She's like, oh, she's in the waiting area, but I'm going to bring her in. I was like, yeah, bring her in, and then, it took about, 5-10 minutes and I'm coming to now. I'm starting to see clearly now. I'm aware of my surroundings. The nurse came back and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but there was a nurse here, really young, who looked like Salma Hayek. Is she still here? I want to apologize. She was like, oh, honey, that was me. And I was like, no. She was like really young. This lady was like 68. Okay?
No.
68.
No.
She looked like the crypt keeper. Okay? And I was like, no. She was really young and she was really pretty. And I just want to apologize for her. She was like, honey, I'm the only one here. I told you that was the medicine talking. Y'all was tripping. Dude, that medicine transformed people.
Yes, bro.
I thought Salma Hayek was taking care of me, It was crazy, man.
Hey, I've only been put under, and the first time I had the anesthesia and the nurse tell me something that I said that only I or somebody that was close to me would have known. So really, like you, depending on the type of person that you are, you will speak some things, and like they say that they've heard it all before, so they aren't too embarrassed or anything like that. So the second time when I had it, I told the team, I said, "Hey, look, the last time that I got put under, apparently I was saying some stuff. Please let me know what I said. I love to know because I don't recall what it was that I said." And they did just that, man. So, kind of the type of person that, if you ever want me to say what's on my mind, unfiltered, catch me when I'm just coming off the anesthesia, bro. Because I'll start saying some stuff apparently.
A lot of people do, man. Thank God it
Yeah,
wasn't. Thank God I remember what I said. I was like, "Damn, you hot," I was, and she wasn't, man. That was crazy, Like, she wasn't. She was
that's
an old lady.
awesome.
Somebody, your mother.
That's awesome. Hey man, we coming up on my time. I try to keep my show right at an hour. So I'm gonna be respectful of your time. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for giving me the hour, and what I'm saying, man, rapping with me about it for whatnot, man, and keeping everything a buck, man. I appreciate you, brother.
But chop it up again anytime, Chief. Thank you for having me.
All right, man.
One.
Man, that was Leo. Oh, I got something sitting here, man, on my shirt. So first of all, thanks to everybody that tuned in live. We saw the comments. Thanks for the happy birthday message and everything like that. Uh, I do this every Wednesday. I have my chats with dads. There's going to be some episodes and some Wednesdays where it's going to be a solo show. It's not going to be an hour because I can't talk that long. Um, but I do have somebody that's coming on next week as well. I definitely want to thank my friend Leo, my homeboy, for coming on today, and giving his time, being as honest and as transparent as he was with everything. Come back next week. Come back next Wednesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. This is YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. And if you're somebody that caught this and you want to come on and chop it up with me, shoot me an email, theactualkingsmith@gmail.com. Attention, chats with dads. I'd love to have you on. Anyway, that's my show for today. Thanks for tuning in.